So, what is with the story that I had to do this tonight? Not only did I have to do this tonight, I could have just put the voice recording on. I could have put Otter on and transcribed it. No, I had to do this tonight, which meant, I guess I left my tripod in the car. So I had to go out to the car to get my tripod, to set my phone up, to do this because it's that important tonight. There's like 17 gazillion things going on, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to address. It's not part of coffee. It may show up as part of coffee. I know I feel like I'm shuffling my insides to try to get them to fall into place so I can keep going forward with this. Maybe if I start with the last thing I ate. I know that's a bizarre thing, but the last thing I ate was a handful of homegrown, home roasted pecans. Okay. Why is that important? I can feel the cards shuffling again in my whole being. My ears are ringing. They have been for an hour or so. Not their normal, and I'm thinking this could be from spending too much time in an extremely noisy environment. And my body just is not used to that. But why are the pecans important? Because the pecans were a good choice for me tonight. Okay, they were a good choice. What was before the pecans? A string cheese stick. That was a good choice for me tonight. What was before that? A taco that I made this morning to take to have when I got off work. That was a good choice for me all day. And why is that important? Where is that coming from? I have been challenged on so many arenas lately. Personal arenas. Not anything going on out there. It has been inside and it has been shuffling. Those are good choices for tonight. And one of the things that I'm going to touch on, because it's been so prevalent in my thoughts and in my discussions, is why do I spend so much time mindlessly eating? Now, I spend a lot of the time in the car. It is, okay, that's just what I do. I get in the car and I start eating. So if I don't have stuff, or if I make wise choices, because I had dinner in the car. That was my plan from the time I made it this morning. Good choice. But what I'm starting to discover with all of this mindless eating is that there is a really big part of me that has felt like I could not do things. I was not capable. I was not able. I wasn't enough. Nobody wanted to hear what I wanted to share with them. And the shuffle is going on because all of a sudden, oh my goodness, all of a sudden it is starting to fall into sense. I'm a seminar junkie. Okay, I'm just going to say that. But I've spent my whole adult life being a seminar junkie, and always thinking that maybe I'll get that one thing, just one thing. If I can get one thing. And I always got one thing, but one thing was never enough for me to be able to make that transition, which has a lot to do with mindless eating. That emptiness I felt because I could not make that conscious connection. I could not make that switch. I could not find that thing. Left me empty. And I would fill it up with whatever. Food has been my big one lately. Food, depression. Man, this morning I got up. Things were good. I just couldn't wait to go back to bed. Oh, but I just got up. I wanted to go back to bed and cover up the day, cover up me, because I was again feeling like I could not do something. Even though my victory, one of my victories yesterday was, I do have things to say that people don't know that they do want to hear from me. One of the masterclass, that's what they're called now. When they're online, they're called masterclasses now. One of the masterclasses that I popped into this morning. Yeah, no, literally, I am registered for 3 masterclasses this week and a personal conference call, which is fine. I knew I wasn't going to attend all of them, but it allowed me to run from myself. Run from myself. Again. But it's really not that bad. It's running from myself, and I know what it is. But I've changed so much. I was able to pull things in. And one of the questions they asked was, feel the pain. What does your pain feel like? And literally it was about, I think, if I'm on the right masterclass, what is the pain that you want to address for your clients? That emptiness. And what just vividly came to mind when that question was asked for us to journal, barren, desiccated, dried up, shriveled, like a mummy carcass with all my life sucked out. That was stinking profound. That was profound. How does it tie in with the food? Because one of the things that they ask you after they ask, what does the pain feel like? What do you want to bring? What is your solution? How do you want your life to be? Okay, I am Grace. I have 2 left feet. I do not dance because I'm uncoordinated. So I've told myself my whole life that I was not coordinated. Yeah, I just got a whole lot of insight on that all the way back to like at least 1st grade. Another shuffle of the cards. So I bring up my gracefulness because what I wanted to do, what I wanted to create for me and for my clients, I wanted to create a juicy life where we were full of joy and happiness and worth and being. I wanted to be able to go wherever I wanted in the world and dance, not just rock out. I wanted to put on a flowing skirt and just twirl and celebrate. That's what I'm bringing to me, and that's what I'm bringing to my clients. Why do I mindlessly eat? Because I've felt like one of those old mummy skins. And I kept thinking if I put something in, it would fill it up. It would fill up that hole. A situation happened today, and it's been really interesting. I didn't realize until tonight that I've really taken some steps back from my monkey mind. It has just not been going like crazy like it usually does. But this situation was a source of angst to me. And it wasn't just today, the situation. It's been It's been part of the dried up, desiccated, not knowing how to create my life, not knowing that I could create my life. I always thought life happened to me, not for me. Now I'm in the process of creating life for me. But the monkey mind, part of that's going to go on to another video, because that's another whole side trail that is so deep and so intense and so illuminating. It's been such an illuminating part of my journey that I look forward to sharing it with you, because it's really stinking bizarre, and my whole life is bizarre. If I would have told myself when I was 15 that this would be what I would be experiencing now, that would have been cool. But if I would have known I was going to have to wait another 45 years, I would have said, nah, baby, ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. I cannot walk through the desert. And I was just barely finding out what sand was when I was 15. But why did I have to go out to the car and get the tripod so I could do this live? Because I knew if I didn't, I would not. My moment would have passed. My inspiration would have passed. My drive would have passed. My purpose would have passed. And I would have allowed myself to continue being those old dried up bones. But the monkey mind was one of those situations where there is a situation going on that if I look at it as a mirror, I got some insight on where some of my pain had come from. Interesting point of view that situation had nothing to do with me. Don't have skin in the game. Don't have money in the game. And I realized tonight I don't have a whole lot of emotion in the game, which is also another one of my issues. I don't put a lot of emotion into things because dried up bones don't have emotions. But this is a situation I'm not going to lose sleep over, I don't think. And I keep looking at my two little horns here, my little hair clips. When I look at them, and they look like little horns. So if you think I have little horns, yeah, I've got little horns on tonight. Why did I have to go out to the car? Because I committed to myself that I was going to keep going forward. And those blocks that I have had, I am going to keep choosing a tool to remove them, to diminish them, to destroy and uncreate them, if that's what it's supposed to be. But it's those things that I'm destroying and uncreating that are letting me be free and letting me rehydrate so I can become juicy. Because the more I fill myself with me, the less I have to fill myself with mindless eating. Now, I did do that yesterday, and I knew it was conscious. I'm going to do this. Was I fine with it? Yeah, sort of. It was okay. Did I beat myself up? Nope. Didn't need to. There was no reason to. There was no judgment, which is part of the mindless eating. When I'm judging myself, I need to turn that off. And if I can stuff food in there, it occupies my mind. It occupies my throat chakra. Because part of the reason I wanted to get back in bed this morning was because I did not want to deal with myself this morning. And I really had to think what it was. I did not want to deal with the part of me that was feeling like I can't do this. There is so much that I am on track and I can't do this. Nonsense. At least I had commitments this morning and I could not go back to bed, because that truly is what I would have done. I would have gone back to bed and stayed in bed all day. Oh, no, not all day. I would have gotten up, gone to the kitchen, and found me something mindless to eat. And I got some really awesome stuff in this house that's perfect for mindlessness. But why did I have to go out and get the tripod and do this tonight? Because if I didn't, it would have been the same thing as crawling back in bed this morning and wrapping my mummy cloths around me and drying up a little bit more. Thank y'all for joining me, for letting me make my life a little bit juicy. Funny word, stupid word. It's a couture, if I'm not mistaken. But you know, it's kind of like moist. I have friends that say, I hate that word moist. Well, if you cook or bake all the fluids and blood out of your life and your body, you just need a little moist. Maybe that's why I've always enjoyed humidity so much, because it's hydrating. Maybe that's always been my soul crying out for hydration. And what do I want to bring to my clients? The knowledge that, you know, whatever it is that you feel, if you feel dried up, if you feel like you can't, if you feel like you never were allowed to, and that's going to be a big bugaboo right there. You were not allowed to. Maybe not because someone said you are not permitted to do that, but you were not permitted to do that. On some of my coffees I've been talking about, you know, the one thing I realized just recently that I was good at doing was not going to jail. Why did I need to go to jail when I kept myself imprisoned in my own thoughts and beliefs? Thank you for sharing this with me and being part of the commitment I made to myself, that when I did find my words, and I did find them just within the last few weeks, I did find the ability to know that it would be okay for me to express. So thank you for letting me record this after I went outside and got my tripod out of the car. Enjoy the journey.